everybody, and welcome to another episode of Your Father's Story, where I answer questions from the ironically named book, Your Father's Story. So let's get right to it, shall we? Did you have any unique talents or skills that developed as you got older, and did you ever use them to your advantage? Yeah, I learned how to make videos with just a camcorder. I don't mean just recording, like, obviously just the recording with the camera, but I learned how to, like, dub over audio by just hooking up the audio from my camcorder to, like, a VCR and recording over it, like, so I made music videos, and I made movies and things like that. I learned that in my teens. I don't know how I figured that out, but, I am quite proud of it. I mean, I would say that was probably my biggest skill that I learned, so I think that's pretty cool. I can't really recall any others off the top of my head. Not like that anyway. But I will say that was one of the few skills that everyone was kind of like fascinated by. So, I mean, nobody else could do it at the time, so, you know, that was one thing I had unique to myself. But yeah, I learned how to do things like that, and like the camera had a microphone, so I could, you know, hook up the audio to that too and learn how to use that. And all I had was a camcorder, and I basically made it into an editing platform. So yeah, I would say that there was that, and like I learned how like sports leagues worked, like with standings and, you know, things like that. And I would do that with like video games and like imaginary things with my friends. Like I would create imaginary sports leagues, and I would do that kind of thing too. So I created all sorts of stuff. I guess I just like creating things. So I mean, I guess that's the long and the short of that, but yeah, that's really all I could think of. But I love things like that, so, you know, I just did so much of that when I was younger. That's what I did instead of going to school. So I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it, but, you know, instead of learning these skills, I learned this skill, so what are you gonna do? Did you ever skip school? And if so, what did you do instead? Oh boy. For those that don't know, I'm laughing because everyone that knows me knows the story. Like, I mean, I basically skipped weeks and then months and then like an entire year of school. And obviously this is before like it became like a thing. My mom went to work at a nearby hotel, so quite frankly, there wasn't a lot she could do to stop me. And I don't know, it's not the proudest moment of my whole life, but at the same time, I don't know, I would never advocate for people to not go to school or to skip school, but again, it was like, I think my mom realized it later, like there was bullying going on and there was all this other stuff going on, so it is what it is, and things worked out the way they were supposed to. But, you know, it's only funny because like everyone knows, you know. What did I do instead of going to school? Basically anything else. Like, you know, I did my video games. I basically did whatever I did when I was at home. I was always by myself, you know. So yeah, I just basically stayed home and watched TV or played video games, played with toys, did whatever. So yeah, it was it's so funny that it asked that question, and you know, everyone already knows the answer. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll expand on this for people that don't know. I basically skipped so much school that I went to school. I think it was, I want to say it was the beginning of 11th grade, maybe 10th grade. I'm not even honestly sure how I got that far as like, I was so behind on work and all that stuff. But like the first day of school, I got called into my guidance counselor's office, and he was like, if you're just gonna miss all this school, you're just wasting everyone's time and your time. So say whatever you want to about his skill as a guidance counselor, but I went home and convinced my mom that I should probably drop out of school. So, and she was heartbroken because that was her dream for me to graduate from school, but it was what it was. But 10 years later, I did get my GED, and she was very proud of me for that. And then I went on to write a book, and then 2 more books. So she was extra proud of that. So I'm glad I was able to make her proud before, you know, she passed on. But that's the story of Bobby in a nutshell. So there you have it. When I was crying, how did you get me to calm down? This is simultaneously an easy question and a difficult question to answer. Christian was rather easy. I mean, he was basically, you know, your typical, you know, you cuddled him, you talked to him, you know, you calm him down, and, you know, everything's okay. Aiden was more difficult because a lot of the time he didn't want to be around anyone when he was crying, and he didn't want to be comforted. He didn't want anyone near him. So that was more difficult, and it's really the same thing as it is now when he gets upset. You basically got to kind of wait until things have already calmed down, and then you go talk to him and, you know, get it out of him what's going on, and, you know, straighten things out. So that's really the long and the short of it. And that just goes back to the thing of, you know, 2 different kids, 2 different, you know, there's no instruction manual, there's no nothing. You just basically figure it out as you go along, and, you know, 2 different ways of dealing with things. So yeah, again, there's a lesson for the new dads out there, you know. No handbook, no straightforward line. It's just fly by the seat of your pants, just like life itself. Nothing is, there's no difference whatsoever. Just, it is what it is. But yeah, Christian, you could typically calm down by, you know, conventional means, and Aiden required a little more finesse sometimes. But yeah, we would get there eventually, and everything will be all right. Oh, here's a excellent and perfect question. Have you achieved a healthy work-life balance, and if so, how did you do that? This is a tough question to answer because I've just entered into my manager role, and I'm working way more hours than I ever have, and in some cases way more hours than I should be. It's very, very difficult because I find it's even harder to not think about work when I'm home, because now I'm in charge, and now everything's on my shoulders, and now I'm thinking about a lot of things that I want to do, and a lot of issues going on at work that I can't just get out of my head like I used to. And actually, even I couldn't really even get it out of my head then, but now it's even harder because now I'm responsible for it, and now I have to deal with it. But it's interesting that I've found that I've come to love it. Like, I've come to love dealing with those situations, and I've come to love being the guy, I guess. It's not really the proper term or whatever. I will tell you a quick story from today. I was doing one of the cycle counts, and Georgie was listening to music, and Master of Puppets came on, and I'm in the middle of the count, and but I pop up in the middle of the hour, and I'm like, obey your master. Master. And then June's like, is that what you are to us now? And I'm like, no. And then I went back to doing the count. Because that's just weird. It's just weird. I'm working desperately, to answer the question. I'm working desperately to maintain that work-life balance. And Rachel has actually been a major help with that, because she has fallen into that thing where she's had trouble maintaining that work-life balance. It was just mostly work for her. And she's trying to make sure that I don't fall into that same trap. I told the story, I didn't tell it on this show, but I had worked like a 61-hour work week, and I had worked some overnights, and I'd been awake for 30 hours, and I was getting really punchy, and I had accidentally leaked some login and password information on the manager's chat. And Rachel came into the store, and she's like, you are counting down your drawer, you're punching out, you're going home, you're done. You're just done. And I'm like, there's so much more stuff I have to do. She's like, it can wait, just go home. It was a little more difficult than that, but I did eventually go home. I am really trying hard to, I think like last week I had worked some extra hours early in the week, so I was working less hours as, the days went on, trying to, keep it at a relatively normal level, which is 48 hours. I ended up working like 52, which is not terrible. It's over, but not terrible. So far so good. I'm only like a month in, but and I'm lucky enough to have a good crew. I'm lucky enough to be in a place where it's people that have been there for a while, and they're not likely to go anywhere anytime soon. So there's people that I could utilize there, and the people that want to help me, and people that want to help me maintain that balance. Even today, like Jordy's like, go home, Bobby, go home. It's 4:00. Go home. So I am extremely lucky in that regard. But it's a work in progress, and it's going to be a continuing work in progress as I go on. But I think everything's going to be all right. And I think that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Your Father's Story. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this series is catching on, because it's a little bit different for this channel. And I hope that a more personal side of me is clicking with everybody, and that everyone is enjoying that. But I know the main thing is that my boys enjoy it, and that was the whole point initially. So I'm glad. I'm definitely glad for that. So I hope it's just resonating with you guys too. So leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that stuff. You can go to robertblanchardbooks.com and check out the award-winning Roar of a Dragon series. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter, all Bobby's World 2110. Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Bloodborne No Blood Vial run. This past Monday, I come up against the Cleric Beast, but unfortunately, I get distracted by life, and it affects my performance. So yeah, that's basically what happens there, if you want to check that out. In the archives, I have a whole plethora of Soulsborne challenge, playthroughs, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of that back there to go and check out. Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, a whole bunch of stuff. Bobby's World Hunger Games, there's a whole playlist of that. Me and my friends in a Hunger Games simulator, so it's a very popular series amongst me and my friends. So go check that out if you're interested. Soulsborne Battle to the Death, where I pick 2 random Soulsborne bosses, and I pit them against each other, and then I do bios, and I decide who I think would win, and you leave your opinions in the comments. So there's over 100 of those in that playlist. So always fun times over there. Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what you're watching right now, Your Father's Story. So don't exactly have to explain exactly what that is. Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is Bobby's Gaming Lounge. It's my weekly live stream where I play games and you guys come in the chat and we have a fun time. This past Saturday, I played Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, which is a Souls-like game. I had a great time, actually, and it was a good time in the chat, too. Like, everybody was there, basically, so... And some new faces, too, so that was a whole lot of fun. It's always good to have new people there, and, yeah, it was definitely a good time on Saturday night. So, I have no idea what I'm doing this Saturday, but I'm sure that, figure it out at some point. It is what it is. So I'm gonna scoot over here. So I'm gonna, jeez, oh my god. All right. So if you want to watch more videos, there's this video up here where I tell you where I got my first kiss and who my first kiss was. And actually, this video down here, I'm going to let YouTube's algorithm decide what the best video would be for you, the viewer. So, yeah, could be anything. Could literally be anything. So, so if that's a fun time for you, I hope it's something that you'll enjoy. But until then, I hope everyone has a great week. Be well, stay safe, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it.